loves, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Joy, and guys, I am losing it with excitement over what I've just found. So if you guys have been following the debates, the presidential election, which if you've been following my channel, you probably have been, then you know that tonight there's a really big interview with Biden, and those clips are starting to come out. They are amazing, and if you saw the title of this video, then you know it looks like Biden actually called for Trump's assassination, allegedly, and he's being called out. Said he wants to put him in the crosshairs, it's time to put a bullseye on him. This information started leaking, and the interviewer got it and is hammering him on this. Guys, we may literally be looking at a situation, allegedly, where Biden called for this, and we have proof. What is happening? What is life? What is the world? Guys, if you like content like this, make sure and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Also, guys, while I do this, I want to show you all the information I have. Sound off in the comments. Do this with me. Tell me, do you see and hear what I'm seeing and hearing? Do you hear other things? Let me know, because I have a few pieces of information to go over. So, okay, where do I begin? So first of all, guys, I am going to be live streaming my first live stream on this channel tonight, the full interview with Lester Holt with Biden. Check it out, because I'm sure it's going to be hilarious. We're going to laugh a lot and learn a lot, and I'm sure he's going to reveal all kinds of info. And these clips are coming out, and I just want to show you guys. I don't really have a ton of words, but make sure and tune into my channel for that, my first live. Fingers crossed I don't get the technology messed up. After this video, we're going to test some stuff out. But okay, I'm just going to jump in. Check out what he has to say.
Conversation this has started, and it's really about language, what we say out loud and the consequences of those. You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that.
I didn't say crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was, there's very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term was bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing. Focus on his policies. Focus on the number of lies he told in the debate. Focus. I mean, there's a whole range of things that, look, I'm not the guy that said I want to be a dictator on day one. I'm not the guy that refused to accept the outcome of the election. I'm not the guy who said that wouldn't accept the outcome of this election automatically. You can't only love your country when you win. And so the focus was on what he's saying, and I mean, the idea.
But have you taken a step back and done a little soul searching on things that you may have said that could incite people who are not balanced?
Well, I don't think, look, how do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody? Look, I've not engaged in that rhetoric. Now, my opponent is engaged in that rhetoric. He talks about there'll be a bloodbath if he loses, talking about how he's going to forgive all those, actually, I guess, suspend the sentences of all those who were arrested and sentenced to go to jail because of what happened in the Capitol. I'm not out there making fun of, like, remember the picture of Donald Trump when Nancy Pelosi's husband was hit with a hammer, joking about it?
Thanks for watching.
Okay, I wanted to just let it play in its entirety. Now I want to respond to all of it. There is so much to unpack. So let's go ahead. We're going to start from the beginning, and I will start pausing, and you guys are going to start hearing me ranting because there's a lot to cover.
Let's talk about the conversation this has started, and it's really about language, what we say out loud and the consequences of those. You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that.
I didn't say crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look.
Nobody said crosshairs. Nobody said that. He said bullseye, and he's like, nobody's talking about crosshairs. First of all, the fact that you said we need to put a bullseye on Trump, the week before someone put a bullseye on him? And also, he has consistently called Trump a threat. He has called him a threat, and that's on the lesser end. here's what's bothering me and so many other people. They're the ones calling for violence and have been for the last 15 years. They're the ones calling for all of these awful things and then turn around and say Trump does it when Trump hasn't done it. Or if he has, if they say, oh, he has, it's something they've taken super out of context. And look, let's be clear. It sounds like Biden said this stuff. Maybe it is, maybe it is out of context. Maybe he didn't mean it that way. But with everything else going on, this just looks and smells real bad. And y'all know me about coincidences. I'm not saying they can't happen, but when too many things add up, I'm just saying it looks weird. We'll continue.
The truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was, there was very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah.
All he's done is focus on Trump and his agenda. All we hear about is him attacking Trump. That's all he does. His whole campaign is Trump bad, I'm good. Trump bad, I'm good. Mixing with dementia. Like, that's it. That's the campaign. What does he mean? Very little focus. It's stuff like this that, like, legitimately concerns me. And when I say concerned, for two reasons. Number one is he's so far gone, he doesn't realize that all we hear from him is orange man bad, even though they're trying to turn him orange now because they didn't like his coloring, and that's why he did bad at the debate, because his makeup was just bad and that wasn't their fault. Does he believe the rhetoric, or is he just still intentionally lying? See, the problem is when you get to where he's at in his age and also with dementia, you are still the person you are. It amps up. Who you are kind of becomes more amplified, unfortunately, and that's what we're seeing when it comes to Biden and when it comes to a lot of this stuff. So I think it's a mix of both. I don't think he knows what he's talking about, but he knows how to lie. He knows the agenda is lying and gaslighting, so he's just going to keep doing that, mixing it up with all the other craziness going on in his mind.
The term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye.
It was a mistake to use. I mean, this guy said, you said the term bullseye. He said it was a mistake to use. I didn't mean crosshairs. I meant bullseye. Joe, we know that. You're the only one who doesn't seem to know it because you keep focusing on crosshairs. I don't know if you understand what they mean or if you think one is worse than the other. I think for most regular people, bullseye sounds a whole lot worse because bullseye is all about the target you put on somebody before you're about to pew pew. So he just said, he keeps arguing he didn't say something that nobody said he said. He's arguing he didn't say bullseye and then says, no, but I said bullseye. This it, Democrats? And you know what, Democrats? This happened on your watch. You guys just believed everything that your party and your White House told you. You just blindly believed it and said anybody who doesn't, prejudiced, racist, bad, canceled. You believed the rhetoric without using your critical thinking skills and looking at the evidence and the information. They played on your emotions. They played you. They said, well, you know what? The other side's going to control your bodies. They're bad. They played you. And the sad thing is look, I do not like what's going on with women's health care. That's a whole nother topic. Y'all know me. I go into that. But I'm also somebody, I don't like the women's health care we have now. I want a whole reform. I want birth controls that don't make us sick. I want birth controls so good we never have to make the choice of what we're going to do if we have a kid that we don't want to have. That's what I do. However, this is what I want the Democrats to understand. Your party has systematically poisoned your body. Your party, as well as the Republicans, have poisoned our food, our water, our medications, our air, everything. The birth controls you take are completely screwing up your hormones and your endocrine system and giving you health issues that you don't even know that you have. How many women have chronic health issues? How many women have PCOS? How many women have endometriosis? How many people have chronic health issues that are so young? Your party already took over your body. Both of them did. But they've just brainwashed you and convinced you they haven't, and they're not going to fix anything. Just want to point that out, because we always talk about my body, my choice. What about my body's being poisoned by everywhere? No, we can't have that conversation. Just like we can't have the women's health care conversation. We can't have a conversation that says, hey, can we have birth controls that don't poison us?
Focus on him. Focus on what he's doing. Focus on his policies. Focus on the number of lies he told in the debate.
That's all he's done. It's maddening to hear because that's all he's done. So he's on a call. Just imagine you're a staffer and he's on a call with all you guys. We need to put the bullseye on Trump and his crosshairs and focus on it. And it's just like they're looking around at him going, dude, that's all we do. That's what you do. This is all you do. That's not working.
There's a whole range of things that, look, I'm not the guy that said, I want to be a dictator on day one. I'm not the guy.
I don't even believe, at this point when he says Trump said these things, several of the things I know were lies. To the rest of them were like, I'm not even going to check it because I don't even believe you. You guys have lied so much about him and taken him out of context. I'm sure if he said, I want to be a dictator, you've completely taken it out of context.
That refused to accept the outcome of the election.
No, who refused to accept the outcome was Hillary. And then do you remember several years ago, Democratic Party Al Gore, he in fact went and really challenged stuff and really messed some stuff up between him and Bush in the 2000s. I was alive then. Actually, it's your party that's done that twice. Twice. Your party has done that. One of your BFFs, Hillary, has done that. Sit down. Be humble. Stop lying.
I'm not the guy who said that won't accept the outcome of this election.
He said it twice. I'm not the guy who said I wouldn't accept the outcome. I'm not the guy who said I wouldn't accept the outcome of this election. Why did he say it twice? But we also saw that the other day he was naming off countries at NATO and went Australia, blah, 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 Australia. Oh, excuse me, I already said it. And you know it's because his team and Jill behind the scenes are reaming him. What are you doing? Quit saying things twice. The problem is, though, he probably has dementia or Alzheimer's or Parkinson's because we know that doctor was there like 10 times, but they won't tell us why for Parkinson's. And this is why. And this is why it's elder abuse. And then he's like, well, I'm catching HELL from Jill because I said something I wasn't supposed to say. Says this during his press conference. Tell me that's not indicative of elder abuse. Tell me that's not indicative. They are being mean to him and mad at him when he messes up because he's got probable Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's. But they're the kind, tolerant, loving left. Your body, your choice, right? Biden's body, Biden's choice, right?
Dramatically, you can't only love your country when you win. And so the focus was on what he's saying, and I mean the idea.
But
Also, he always said the idea. It's his little Bidenisms, and that's what. By the way, the idea. By the way, every time he says "by the way," I tense up a little bit because I'm like, oh, he's going off script. By the way means uh-oh. He starts going off script too far. We're gonna get some fun stuff. What little truths is he going to reveal?
have you taken a step back and done a little soul searching on things that you may have said that could incite people who are not balanced?
Get him, Lester. Get him. How about all of Hollywood? You know, all those people in Hollywood that if they aren't possible kiddly diddlers, if they're not doing that, they're taking paychecks from them. You know, the same people that went into the industry, and most of them had to do some intimate acts to get their way up there, but they want to tell us how we need to morally live our lives. They are so much better than us because they can give better D. They can give better H, right? It's incredible. It's incredible. The thing is, you got to look at the people in Hollywood as intimacy workers. Please infer. It's YouTube. I have to be careful what I say. They are intimacy workers. Not all of them, the majority of them. How do you think they got to where they got? That's that industry. They want to tell us how to live, and they're telling us to be violent, now saying, we didn't say that. Like, we didn't hear them say that for the last 15, 20 years?
Well, I don't think, look.
He's caught. He didn't know what to do. He's starting to malfunction. I love malfunctioning Biden.
How do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real?
You don't do it by inciting violence. And you and your lefties keep saying things to incite violence. You keep yelling fire in theaters consistently.
When a president says things like he says, do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody?
How about your 1994 crime bill that put all types of black, brown, and minority men in prison for absolutely nothing so you can get slaves again? How about that? Is that a threat to democracy? I think that's a threat to their democracy. How about the fact that you run around screaming, he's a felon, but then you guys say, oh, we shouldn't judge criminals and we shouldn't judge people based off their record. So everybody who has a record is just a horrible person that doesn't deserve anything in society or any respect. Stop it. You know what it is, guys? I'm tired of the hypocrisy. I'm tired of being gaslit. I'm tired of it. I am absolutely tired of it.
Look, I have not engaged in that rhetoric.
have engaged in that rhetoric? Really? Because you're malfunctioning, and you seem to malfunction the moment he said that because you have been called out.
Now, my opponent is engaged in that rhetoric.
Do you see? I mean, the lies. This is such blatant lying, guys. I don't really know what to say. This is such blatant lying. At this point, this is why I sit and laugh at these videos. That's all I can do. I'm like, you know what? Let's enjoy the three-ring circus while it's in front of us. And I'm just going to point out all the inconsistencies and we can laugh about it. At least we can entertain ourselves with their BS.
He talks about there'll be a bloodbath if he loses, talking about how he's going to forgive all the,
He malfunctioned. Forgive all the people that wronged him. That's, I think, what he was going to say. Forgive, blah, 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 because they keep saying, are you to seek retribution? You mean like you guys have done everything to destroy his life and put him in trials for almost no reason? All these trials are horse crap for having documents that he wasn't supposed to have, but he actually legally could have. Similar documents that Biden took with him. They just dismissed that case, thank God. Or how about the fact that when he paid off Stormy Daniels, they said he could have used campaign funds? Do you have evidence? No, but he could have. You guys then went after everybody for January 6th, but BLM gets to run free, taking over the whole city or part of the city of Seattle Chaz and kicking out the cops. The hypocrisy, that's what I don't like. To me, when I see hypocrisy, there's evil afoot. So let's examine it. So it just makes me mad that he's being called out and you're watching the stuttering, you're watching him malfunction because he knows he's lying.
I guess suspend the sentences of all those who were arrested and sentenced to go to jail because of what happened in the Capitol.
Most of what happened in the Capitol was BS. Most of that was BS. The Capitol Police let them in, escorted them into rooms in different places. It was a setup. And by the way, he hasn't said he's going to, excommunicate, or he's going to, not excommunicate. He never said, I'm going to forgive everybody in that situation. But there are several people who are sitting in prison for no reason. That shouldn't be.
I'm not out there making fun of, remember the picture of Donald Trump when Nancy Pelosi's husband was hit with a hammer, joking about it?
There's a difference between jokes and actually calling for violence. The left has repeatedly called for violence. How many tweets, how many videos, how many TikToks have we seen of the lefties breaking down? And even before the assassination, there were lefties calling for it. There was one that went viral and she said, hey, if we're gonna do it, now's the time, we need to do it. And then the lefties breaking down saying, you had your shot and you missed, you had your shot and you missed. Oh no, you almost took care of the problem. I love that they think that their problems are good. Do you think that you're going to get your bodies back with the Democrats who keep poisoning you and are telling you when you don't feel good in your body, when you feel like you're not in the right gender, we need to slice you up? Because that sounds like something a psychopathic killer says when they kidnap you. And I'm not talking about a moral argument, a medical argument. What happens when you slice somebody up and completely fry their hormone and endocrine system? What happens to you medically? What happens to your health? So guys, that's the first one, but then there is another clip that came out that I want to show you here. Let's see. Okay, I think this is it. Here we go. Let's look.
Welcome back to Fast Money. We've got a first look at Lester Holt's exclusive interview with President Biden. Let's get back to Eamon Javers for the headlines. Eamon.
Melissa, that's right. Lester Holt has wrapped up that interview, and in the interview, President Joe Biden suggests that he needs to defend his political rhetoric, but he says it's really Donald Trump's political record that is the one that's irresponsible. Take a look at this exchange from the interview.
Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody? Look, I have not engaged in that rhetoric. Now, my opponent is engaged in that rhetoric. He talks about there'll be a bloodbath if he loses.
So remember that. Now I want to go to something else. This is somebody that I absolutely love called Liberal Hive Mind. You might know them. Go subscribe. They have a compilation that I want you to see.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
But we're the violent.
Isn't that cute? Isn't it cute, guys? They're not the ones doing it. I don't like being lied to, and I don't like people gaslighting me and telling me what reality is and isn't. I'm old enough on this planet. I have lived long enough, and I've been in enough situations to know when my gut and my critical thinking skills are telling me something to listen and to act upon it. And that's why I have this channel. I'm going to speak the truth as I see it, and hopefully in that, my raising my voice, you guys raising your voices, and all of us doing that as a collective, we end up making a better world, a world that we want. Because we aren't just yelling and screaming, and we're not just throwing a fit like the left. We get out there in the world, we hold our visions, we work towards them, and we make the world we want, and that's my goal. That's my focus. However we can create whatever you want to call heaven on earth, the best, most highest possible loving energies for everyone and everything. Everybody's healthy. Everybody has what they want and they need within reason of their egos, and we can have that technology and manifest all that. And I believe somebody like President Trump is our best shot and maybe one of our only shots right now to have something like that. And then it comes to us. It comes to us doing that work. Because you might say, I don't know how to fix the world's problems. I'm not that smart, neither am I. However, I know how to create things. We have a God-given gift, our ability to create and to manifest. This is why whatever you want to call God has us on this planet, and we create our reality and we can shape the things around us. And the more of us that get on the same page of a higher, beautiful, positive reality, the more that we can create it. If nothing else, we hold the energy for the right people and things to come in so it can be created. Last thing I want to show you I thought was interesting with all of this. By the way, again, it's going to be 6 p.m. Pacific, so 9 p.m. Eastern. Tune into my channel. I'm going to go live and we're going to watch this interview and we're going to laugh and have a good time. It'll be my first live. But I wanted to show you this because we have the vice president pick, J.D. Vance. Trump picked.
Yes, I do.
Do you still have faith in the Secret Service, Mr. President?
Yes, I do.
What do you make of
J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance?
What do you think of J.D. Vance?
He's a clone of Trump on the issues. A clone of Trump on the issues. So I don't see any difference.
How was your conversation with the former president?
So there you have it, guys. Biden might have been the one to put out the hit, allegedly. At least that's what he said. And remember, we go by everything, the literal words, not the context. That's what the left loves to do, to paint a picture of all of us. Isn't it interesting? So I am curious to see how this interview goes. At least we're going to have a lot of fun gaps. We're going to have a lot of him doing stupid things. But what I do love is that, as I've said, the barriers in his mind, those boundaries of what you should say and shouldn't say, secrets to hold, information to divulge, are continuing to go down, and he keeps revealing information to us. What more is going to be revealed? Are we gonna find that he's the one that ordered the hit on Trump? And is this just the beginning of that information leaking out? What did you guys think? Did you see anything that I didn't? Did you hear things that I didn't? Sound off in the comments, let me know. And if you like this content, make sure to subscribe, hit notification bell so that you know when I upload. And also, guys, please like the video, it helps me out. I also want to say a very, very big thank you to all of you. I've been doing this for now 2 weeks. You guys know in the first week I was doing stuff on like the TikTok kind of platform and putting it over, and I looked like a mess because I'm still getting this up and running with my health issues, but you guys continue to help me grow this channel and stick by my side. I just want you to know how much I deeply love you and appreciate you for it, and thank you for always allowing me to come back here and be myself and show me so much love. And I have so much love for all of you, and I got your back too. All right, guys, until the next video and tonight the live stream, until that live stream, tune in. I'm giving y'all hugs, mwah, kisses, stay safe. I will see you soon tonight.